What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. This is the channel where I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm back again with another video about the Panthers, talking about the depth chart. The team recently released a depth chart for the preseason game coming up Thursday, so we got to take a look at it. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up before we get into it, man. But without further ado, let's just want to start. Of course, we got to start with the offensive line. This is probably the most important part of our team, obviously. Of course, we got to think about Cam Newton's health, but the team in the position that's directly responsible for his health is the offensive line. So let's go ahead and start with those guys. What stuck out to me about the depth chart, obviously, was Darrell Williams and Greg Van Roten being the starting left tackle and left guard, respectively, with Greg Little being the backup when it comes to that left tackle position. Now, Greg Little, I've talked about him being a steal. We got him in the second round. He was graded to be one of the best offensive linemen in the country coming into college this past year for his senior year. So I feel like we got a pretty raw piece of talent that we can mold. I had question marks early on to see if he would actually be the starter or not. Or would they try to put Taylor Moton or Darrell Williams at left tackle? And where did Greg Van Roten fit in this scenario? He was kind of a surprise we found last year after so many offensive linemen got hurt in camp. And he actually played pretty solid in his chances that he took advantage of. So I thought that maybe possibly they kick Darrell inside to left guard because he had some experience playing guard, and they thought about converting him when he first came out of college to guard. And I thought they would put Greg Little at left tackle if he could develop in time. Obviously, that's not the case. We have heard about him struggling in some one-on-one scenarios, which is just a small piece of practice in the game. So I haven't seen everything about him, but we haven't heard a bunch of positive things about him coming out of camp. Not too many negatives, but nothing to be concerned about at least, because obviously this is a guy that's going to have to develop. But I'm not really concerned about that. But Darrell Williams, obviously, he was an all-pro right tackle at one point, second team, of course. And he's in a contract year. And we have Moton had been pretty solid at right tackle, so they didn't want to kick him out. And, of course, you had Trey Turner playing right guard and Matt Paradis at center. So I like this. I'd like to start an offensive line, and I like the depth. Dennis Daly, the pick we got out of South Carolina, he's a very versatile guard. He can play left and right guard, so he'll be that backup and probably that swing guy for that scenario. And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to play him maybe as some tackle as a backup in a desperation situation. But it seems like Greg Little will be the first tackle off the bench when it comes to that way. And with the versatility we got with Darrell and Taylor, if we need to move somebody left or right, we have that versatility to play those guys on both sides. So I'm not really too surprised, because if you've been watching my videos, we've talked about this and we've noticed in practice, this is how stuff is pretty much gone. As far as the defensive line on the other side, up front it goes like this. On the edge rusher, the stand-up edge rusher. Actually, before I get into that, I guess I didn't kind of really mention and let it sink in that we've officially transferred over to a 3-4 defense. It's official now. If you look at the depth chart, the way it's lined up, in the position that's outlined, we're a 3-4 defense. Obviously, you have the three down linemen is KK, Gerald McCoy, and Dontari Poe. Not in any order, of course. And on the edge, you have Mario Addison. And on the other edge, which was kind of that surpriser, was Bruce Irvin. Now, it wasn't that surprising for me, obviously. Probably about 2 videos ago in the training camp playlist. I'll link it up in the description. I talked about how it seemed to me that Bruce Irvin would probably be the starter at that point, just because he's a vet. He's good against the run and the pass versus Burns. He showed some flashes, obviously, with being able to get to the quarterback. We knew he can do that. But could he be the every down rush in or linebacker, whatever you want to call him? That was the question, because he was slim. He did gain some weight for the combine. However, we didn't know how strong enough he would be to hold up against the run game. So obviously, he'll probably be an obvious passing down scenario at this point. But Irvin is going to be the guy because he's a veteran presence. Rivera commented on having a vet in there helps with the confidence and the toughness of the team. Not saying that Brian Burns isn't tough, but when you know what you're doing out there and you've been in the game before, you're not thinking too much. You're kind of just playing football. So young guys like Brian Burns, maybe they're overthinking some of the stuff because they're in a new position, learning a new system, they're a rookie. It's a lot coming at them, so maybe they want to bring him on slow. Hopefully that's whatever. But the backup to Mario Addison, what also shocked me was Marquise Haynes. Now, a lot of people have forgotten about Marquise Haynes. We drafted him out of Ole Miss last year, I think, and he was like 230-some pounds. He was very light. He only played a couple snaps last year. I think they said 46. But apparently he's gained some weight. He's developed, and he's a quality backup. Christian Miller, he'll be, I guess, a plug guy for both sides, but he's the third guy out of that lineup for both sides. So that was pretty shocking to see Marquise Haynes. I think they kind of knew in the back of their mind they were going to convert to a 3-4 system. So they picked up Haynes last year, and he's kind of built perfectly for an edge rusher. He's not that heavy, but he has a pretty decent run, and he has a pretty good get-off. Similar to how Brian Burns is. Obviously, Brian Burns maybe has a little bit more talent just based on where we drafted him. But that was another thing that actually stuck out to me. In the secondary, of course, you know the news, we signed Trey Boston, the former Panther. He is back, and he's inserted into the starting lineup at that free safety position. Like I said, I talked about it, him being the natural free safety on the team. So it only seemed seamless that he would take that spot, and it would improve the position. Ross Cockrell will be his backup, and in that secondary we'll have Trey Boston and Eric Reed. Eric Reed's backup will be Rashawn Golden. Rashawn Golden will also be the starting big nickel, which we like to run. And the little nickel position is kind of still up for grabs. Of course, Corn Elder will probably get the leg up to start for now. But apparently Javon Elliott has been having quality practices, so you got to give this guy a chance. He's also a guy we picked up from the Bucs, just like Jerome McCoy. And they want to give him a chance. I mean, he has some experience. He's a little bit lightweight. He's about 5'11". I think they said 176. So he doesn't have too many nickels in his pocket. But if he's good in coverage, he may be a guy for a scenario thing that we do, like I said, in the little nickel package, which Golden being the big nickel guy. So he'll still have a chance to be on the field. It just depends on scenario. So that's all I like. We have versatility, guys. We have guys we can plug into different scenarios. Hopefully they're pretty solid against run and pass. That way the offense can't dictate what personnel we have on there in order to take care of matchups. When you have versatile guys out there, you can play any coverage. But if you have guys that only play in certain pass scenarios or running scenarios, the defense knows, and they can just pick formations and take advantage of the matchups that they want. You never want to be manipulated by the offense. You want to dictate the tempo defensively to the offense. That was pretty much it. Of course, the little nickel position, like I said, is to be determined still. Another position that kind of stuck out to me, but nothing major, was the backup quarterback position. Of course, we saw Kyle Allen listed as the number 2 quarterback. We know him and Will Grier had been splitting reps all camp, and the third-round pick will be number 3 in line. Taylor Heineke, I'm not sure where he is as far as recovery-wise and where he lists on the depth chart. I don't know if he's on I don't know, they have to do an IR at this point since it's so early in the season. But, yeah, he wasn't listed. But Kyle Allen and Will Grier have been splitting. I still think it's up for grabs. It'll just be since Kyle Allen is the vet and has some experience and has shown a lot of good work in the team scenarios in camp, that he'll get a first crack at things off the bench on Thursday. I'm not sure Cam Newton will play Thursday, but we'll get back into that more a little bit later in the video, closer to that game day on Thursday. But you guys let me know down below in the comments, were you shocked by any moves on the depth chart in particular? I mean, of course, I didn't point out the obvious stuff because we know. I just pointed out the stuff that was of note and that I had questions about coming into this camp when I made my position battles video that I'll probably link up also. But you guys let me know, were you shocked by anything, and let me know, are you excited about this group with the starting lineup we have? Let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Ducker signing off with Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk. I'll see you next time.